I think jewelry is timeless. That's what I love most about it. You can always redo it and, you know, keep the gold from something and make it something else, or keep the stone. You can do anything with it.
So I can set the stones, I can do the repairs, I can tighten, you know, do the casting, do a design. One person can just create so many things. You're a one-man shop.
It was amazing. I loved it. I would ride a bus for an hour and a half every day, back and forth, just to go down there to make jewelry. I couldn't believe that this is something that people do for a living.
The public is demanding skilled designers and jewelers more so than they have ever before.
We have a friend who is in the Pennsylvania Jeweler Society. He said, there's a school that I will hire anybody that walks out of that program. No questions.
A family friend mentioned jewelry to me, and I did some research and I found a school, and months later I was working in a shop.
It's all hands-on, watching the demos on the big screen. I can actually see what he's working on instead of leaning over their shoulder and trying to figure it out.
I always liked art. I was always like the kid who was drawing, and I've always liked kind of tactile, working with my hands. A couple of kids I went to school with had been, and they had jobs as jewelers.
First day was the very first time I really ever made a piece of jewelry, ever touched it, but I loved it. As soon as I had seen testimonials and I talked to a couple of students that had been here, I signed up, and now I'm here.
It's more than the piece of jewelry, and it's more than who owned it. It's who made it for them, the designer themselves, and they'll recall conversations that will be passed down with that piece of jewelry, of the story of that piece of jewelry, how it started, how it was created. It becomes an heirloom in the family. It's going to last for a lifetime.
Every day starts with a design consultation with the patron. We'll come up with a design, work on it in CAD, lay out all the diamonds, prototype it on this machine over here, and cast it. And then what we end up with is a casting like this. This is before it's even polished. Right now I'm just cutting the seats for the stones, and I'll be engraving it and finishing it out.
Do you engrave by hand? Or
oh yeah, all hand engraving.
One of the great things about the trade is that the needs of the jewelry industry are so diverse that you don't have to be any one particular thing. Like, I'm a terrible artist. I can't draw, right? But there's a place in the trade for people that have mechanical ability who can execute design.
I've always enjoyed tinkering, working with my hands, building things, you know, playing with Legos at a young age, and this is like Legos for adults. It's a lot of fun.
Doing this, you actually get to deal with the very same person that's going to wear that piece of jewelry for many, many years to come. And you create a relationship. You get to experience the joy when they pick it up and they are absolutely in love with the piece. So that's where the reward comes from.
When they get compliments on it, I call that the dividends. My craftsmen receive cookies and brownies and cakes brought to them after they've done a design or repair. People come out as a token of their appreciation, and they'll reap dividends forever and ever from that one-of-a-kind piece of jewelry.
Gone are the days where it used to be more secretive. The guy you sit next to is the guy you end up talking to the most, the same way it was for the guy that I sat next to. I would pry him with questions and guidance, tried to pick up a little bit along the way.
You work in an office and push papers, you can be replaced in a heartbeat. When you have a skill set that you can go to any town, any country, with a hammer and a file and a torch and make things, you know, that is something that you will have the rest of your life. You can fall back into this, you can excel at this. You will always have jewelry.
What you do just serves such a noble cause, and it's so rewarding, and it means so much to the people. And you did not go broke paying back a college debt for 20 years. I think it's almost like icing on a cake.